About 2.5 years ago, we were at a conference when we got talking to one of the regional ministers who had a very familiar accent. He's from my part of the world. Well, naturally, we got talking, because that's what Welsh people do, and we discovered that we were both just about to become grandparents. So we've kept in touch with each other whenever we've met at subsequent conferences and meetings ever since. And his name is Dave Llewellyn, and we thought that you really would like to meet him.
Some of you may well have seen him already if you were at last year's cluster celebration service. But a few weeks ago, he published a video reflection on the Southern Counties Baptist Association website, which likened the way we assess how we're doing spiritually to reading the gauges on a car dashboard. And so, for example, for him, the seatbelt warning light reminds him of the importance of having boundaries that keep us safe. The speedometer reminds him of the importance of integrity and the fact that he takes his foot off the throttle automatically whenever he sees a speed camera. And that challenges him to ask, well, who am I when nobody's looking? And then the rev counter is not something that he uses to sign colleagues in at ministers' conferences. Sorry. It reminds him of the need for a certain level of exhilaration and adventure. Because if the rev counter is stuck on 0, then we're going nowhere. But equally, if it's in the red zone, then we're heading for burnout. You get the sort of idea.
Yeah. Well, that's the background to Dave's latest message, in which he uses that passage that Pat and Dudley read for us from 1 Corinthians 13. And he uses it to talk about the most important gauge of all. This message was recorded just before Easter, so he does briefly mention Easter, but his message is every bit as relevant in the context of today's communion service, and it's well worth listening to. So here is Dave Llewellyn.